What it do, y'all? This your boy BAC Veteran coming to you live with another Fire Review. This one is going to be on It. Welcome to Derry, episode number 5, 29 Nabout Street. Now, y'all, this episode here has a lot going on, so we got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. So, hey, y'all, sit back and relax. You know how we do it here. I'm going to let y'all see the trailer of the episode, then we're going to come back and go over everything. Then I'm going to hit y'all with some spoilers. But don't worry, let you know before we get to the spoiler section, just in case y'all don't want to get spoiled on anything. So hey, without further ado, here is it. Welcome to Derry, episode number 5, 29 Nabout Street. Be back. Peace.
You convinced everyone to come and see me because you're such a good friend.
Scouts have noted that the residents have been acting more aggressively.
Burn in hell, you son of a bitch!
If we're gonna go after this thing, it needs to be all of us.
That goddamn thing forced itself into my head.
It can't be controlled.
You put us in a cage with a goddamn monster!
The one thing that makes people really listen is fear.
You are fucking insane.
This is what it wants, to turn us against each other.
You got my mind all fucked up.
I've always wondered how you taste. Take my hand.
And we back. All right, y'all ready? All right, let's do this. So the episode opens up with Dick Halloran coming out of his state of using the Shining. Use the Shining to infiltrate Tanyel's mind. You know, Tanyel is a Native American fellow who is the nephew of Rose. And so when he went in his mind, he basically was looking for where it is and where the beacons that houses or cages. The Air Force wants to use a weapon. So it opens up with him coming out of his state. Tanya was all sick, throwing up and everything. They remove him. And the Air Force guys basically, start to talk about the new mission, which is 29 Nabout mission. Also the name of the episode, where they're going to go and try to capture it and bring it back. Like I said, as a weapon. We know ain't gonna go good. Even though spoiler, y'all know that shit ain't. But while that's going on, and so this is going, I'm just gonna go over the episode real quick, and then we're gonna, go into stuff a little deeper on the spoilers. So also, as you see in the back, you have Ronnie's father, Hank. He's on his way to Shawshank. He's getting on the prison bus. We have someone that tries to take him out. If you don't know, Hank is being accused of killing the kids at the movie theater in the very first episode. We know was it. But of course, they're gonna blame the black man for it. I know how they do it. But anyway, that's another story. Whole nother show, damn it. Whole nother show. So yeah, he's on his way to Shawshank. Like I said, he tried. It's an assassination attempt on his life, which fails. They just throw him on the bus and send his ass on. While this going on, the kids are also back at their clubhouse. The light. Not the lookout point. And as they get back up there, they're discussing the whole thing that went down with Lily and Marge, with her, almost removing her eye from a vision that Pennywise showing her. So now Marge is basically a part of the club now because she believes everything. And as they're talking, guess who shows up? Good old Maddie. Now, as we know, Maddie dead, right? From what we saw, Maddie, well, kind of saw, but you can put two and two together. Maddie was killed by Pennywise in the first episode. So how the hell is he back now? So he's there, tells them that he escaped and that he'll never go back there. And he tells them how bad it is down there, how horrible it was, how he saw the rest of their friends get killed and murdered and suffered. And he basically escaped while it was asleep. And he's here now. And they come up with this plan to try to go back and um, rescue, well, one more survivor, which is Nate. So yeah, they go back to try to save him. And they come up with this whole plan to go back into the sewers. It's the same place where the Air Force. So like I said, we're gonna get back to that whole sewer meetup, whole mission. Also, Lily, in between, she goes to, her friend's house, the nice white lady that we all, see that she works at the asylum where Lily was at. She befriended her. She goes to her house to actually speak to her and get some advice on what goes on. Well, actually, what she should do. And as she gets there, her name is Mrs. Kirsch. You know, she gets there, she sees her, and her husband is there. And so she just basically gives her, we're gonna go into all that too. She gives her a little, little advice. It told her tells her not to go into the sewers. Stay away from the sewers. Don't go down there. Call the police. Which they should, but Maddie said if they go to the police, Maddie is gonna run away. Doesn't want them to go to police. So Lily gets the courage to go back and tell the kids, say, hey, I don't care what happens. We're going down there. We're going to save them. And you're going with us, Maddie, or we're going to drag you to the police. So she pulls out some more Valium. They still don't know these are the most worst drugs they could be taking. And says we're going to take these Valium and we're going to go in the sewers and save Maddie. So far we have two parties that's going down to the sewers. We have the military or the Air Force, and we have the kids, the Losers Club. Number one. So we're gonna put that over there. Like I said, we're gonna get to that. Also, another little thing that's going on in between is that we have the Children of Maturin, which is basically an organization of the Native Americans who are basically the keepers of the knowledge and the keepers of, everything that goes on and deals with the entity, Pennywise, what you want to call it. And they basically protect and keep him, and he's the reason why he is still secured in just Derry, not the woods, but just Derry, because they, of course, the 13 pillars around town. So they're having meetings and they're just trying to discuss, what's going on, and they, find out. Well, not find out, but like I said, they're just going over everything. And and they discuss, and we get a new word, or the people who haven't read a book, they're discussing the augury. The augury is basically the ending of a 25 of its feeding cycle, the 25-year cycle. It's going to be one big event. That's going to be a just terrible event, much bloodshed, but it's going to be a final event that ends the cycle, and where they could live on for another 25 years without going into hibernation, basically. And so they discussed that. So that's, nice little tidbit to know that there is, that if you didn't know that this is, it comes 25-year interval. Comes every 25 years, kind of like Jeep Creepers, which I think they stole that idea. But, in a nutshell, that's what's going on. Everyone, you have the kids, you have the military, they're going to the sewers, to the flood house to find it. They're going to do their battle with it. You have the dad, Ronnie's father, Hank, who is on his way to Shawshank. And we also have the children of Manchurian that's, waking up, getting their stuff together. So, we're still not in spoilers yet. We're not in spoilers yet. We can go a little further without getting. So, as they go in the sewers, the kids are, of course, high off the pills. They start to freak out. They're walking, they're, tripping, being kids. They get to a dead end. And so, right after they get to the dead end, Maddie is like, they're being led by Maddie, which is, of course, he's back now. And he turns around and says, damn, I thought that, this is the way. Stick a pin in it. That's where the kids are. They're at a dead end. Everyone goes to the military. The military comes in like the military do. Right before the military comes, we have a scene that shows that the bus heading to Shawshank crashed, and that Hank escaped. So everyone is looking for Hank, and it's just crazy. So that's put a little pin there too, that he escaped. He didn't make it to Shawshank. So as we're back in the sewers, we have, of course, Dick Halloran. We have Will's father. I don't know why I can't remember his name, but there you go, right down there in the corner down there. You see him. You have everyone in the military, infiltrating this building. They're going through. As soon as they get in there, Dick Halloran hears his grandmother. Hears his grandmother's voice. He turns around and says, "Hey, anyone else hears that?" They say, "No, man. We ain't heard shit. What you talking about, bro?" Okay. He's going. Coolest scene ever, y'all. He steps off into this, this lower part of the ground, which is flooded out because they're in the sewers, and he gets completely submerged in this deep tank of water. When he emerges from the water, he is back in his grandmother's or grandparents' home, back in the bathroom, out of the bathtub. Grandmother is standing next to him, and she's using the Shining to communicate with him through the mind. He's telling him to, watch out. He's on the way to get you. You hear these loud footsteps. Boom, boom, boom. Door opens up slowly. It's his grandfather, thinking it's Pennywise. No, not yet. It's his grandfather. Grandfather is holding this metal box in his hand. It has his chain wrapped around the lock on it. He walks in, and he also has this revolver tucked in his waistband. So he walks in, he's looking, quite scary and out of his mind. And he's like, "Hey, y'all two, I'm gonna embellish it. He said, y'all two motherfuckers in here tripping. Y'all think y'all funny. Y'all think y'all can talk between each other with y'all mind. I don't know what the hell going on. I know what's going on. I know what that bitch telling you, man, about me, man. You got me fucked up." Hey, that's the Memphis style. it was along them lines, y'all. So he basically, and while he's talking to him, the grandmother's talking to him in his head and said, "Don't listen to him, baby. He's gonna try to hurt you. Don't listen to him." So he says, "Yeah, she told me about your little box. And you have a box where you hide everything that scares you all up in the box. You hide away. I found your box." Holds the box up. Dick is like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Man, wow, how you get my box?" He's like, "I found it. Don't worry. I found it. It's tucked deep down inside you, but in your soul." So he has his box. I know y'all like, "What the fuck is this box?" This box is basically this thing that his grandmama told him when it comes to using the Shining, that the Shining, you can see you can see the future, and you think about the Shining as a sixth sense on crack. Not only can you see dead people, but you also can see the future. You can just see use it as any type of compass. It's just a one up for life. So it's a power, superpower, mental superpower. And so but sometimes you can encounter some scary things. You'll see some horrible things. Dead people, you'll see just horrible stuff. He said when you see this, you need to come up with a safe place, box. It's just in his head. Think of a box. He said put everything that scares you, everything that's horrible in this box. Close it up, lock it away, put it deep down inside you. Don't ever open it up again. That's what the box is. Box is basically just we'll get deep into it, excuse me, into the spoilers, but right now let's think about the box is holding, some of his dark stuff. Just think about that. Keep it like that for right now. So it goes to this coolest scene of his grandfather teasing him about he's gonna open the box. And he opens, and as he's doing it, you can see his eyes start to roll, and you see him drooling just like Pennywise. So it's Pennywise fucking with him in his head. Opens the box up, box lights up, and Dick Halloran just goes crazy, just starts to freak out. Scene cuts, goes back to the soldiers, back into the Air Force. Stick a pin in that. We got pause. We got Mr. Halloran over here. We got the kids over there trapped in a dead end in the sewer, and we have the rest of the military now walking through the sewers. So the military, as they're the guys walking, they get separated, of course, because they're trying to find out what's going on with Dick Halloran. Where did he go? So two soldiers, they get of course cut off, and they see so it's a hole, big old holes, like a doorway in the sewage wall. And I noticed that it was in the shape of a balloon. The balloons they have on all the new iterations. And out of the shadows, Uncle Sam comes. Zombified Uncle Sam. He says, "I want you." And it's just cool. I just like that. Of course, it was it. And he kills two soldiers, but it was playing off their fear, which was to be drafted by Uncle Sam or have to go off to war. And it's just a cool little way of playing out their fear of them being soldiers and what their fear be, and that they're adults. So that's what he used to kill them. I just want to show that little tidbit. So glad to show that little part because now we're going into that. So as they're going, the two soldiers get killed. The rest of the soldiers, which is Will's father and his acquaintance, his friend, right hand man, I forgot his last name. They're going through the sewers. And of course, Will's father starts to see things. You remember he had a war injuries where he doesn't fear anything. Head was injured, so the part of his brain that has fear is injured. It doesn't work like it's supposed to, so he doesn't fear stuff. So the only way that Pennywise could mess with him was to show him his wife, which his fear was that he didn't want his wife to get hurt with stuff that she does in the civil rights movement. So sees her, of course, she turns into a zombified, weird version of herself and tries to kill him and attack them. He ends up shooting her. That vision then turns into a crazier vision and sprawls off in the water. You'll see that. So his counterpart is like, man, what are you doing? He doesn't see the same thing that he sees. And so then he lets him know, like, hey, if you see anything that's crazy, man, shoot it. I don't care if it's your ex-girlfriend, fifth grade teacher. If you see it down here, it's not supposed to be down here, shoot it. Which the military told them that too before they went down into the sewer. So it's all happening at the same time. And let's go back to the kids. So the kids, of course, they're at a dead end. Now, I guess y'all gonna say so. That's about as far as I can get y'all in the episode without some spoilers. Now, this is a slight spoiler, so just letting y'all know, spoiler section. I told you I'm gonna let you know. Get your time. If you're gonna leave, I appreciate you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come on back, leave a comment. You don't want to hear the spoilers, but spoiler. All right. Been warned. All right. So, of course, like I said, it's a slight spoiler. This one here. Maddie, back. Yeah, y'all know that ain't motherfucking Maddie. That's Pennywise fucking with the key. So as they're at this dead end, they start to see dead bodies in the water of their friends. They're all maimed and cut up and beat up, all that, and just bloated. There's one right there. And so Maddie jumps up on this little, it's almost like a stripper pole, I hate to say it. He's going around, twirling around it, and he does the coolest transformation from Maddie to Pennywise. And they're singing, and he's singing Down with the Clown as he does it. So cool. So of course he scares the kids. They run off, and he jumps down and chases them. Lily gets separated. She falls in the usual, white person running in a horror movie fashion. She falls, and the rest of the kids, they separate. So now we're gonna flip this back to the Air Force guys. As the kids, back to Will's father and everything, who just shot his mom, a vision of his mom. So now that they're on high alert for anything that looks crazy to shoot first, ask questions later. So Will and the rest of the kids are running through the sewers right after the vision has been shot, and his father they're about to leave. They see the exit. They're about to leave the sewer. They hear them screaming. His father hears them screaming. They turn around to, of course, like, well, what the hell? Who's screaming? That sounds like Will. Turns around, and of course, he got his gun out because some more bullshit. It ain't really Will down here. So as they hit the corner in slow motion, he sees that, hey, this, he sees that it's his son, but he thinks, of course, it's a vision. I'm finna kill him. His partner, it's like, hey, hold up, I see it too. Like, wait, this, it's not a vision. They real. They actually here. And so in a split second, he jumps in front of the gun, gets shot, takes a bullet. So he wants to shoot his son, falls down. Right then he snaps out of it. He's crying. He's like, oh man, what are you kids doing down here? He tells him, get behind him now. So he's talking to the man. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry I shot you, man. He's like, man, it's good, bro. You had to do what you had to do. I know you ain't mean to it. to do it. He like, man, take me, I'm gonna take you up out of here. Like, no, man, I'm tired. Just leave me here. Crazy shit, yo, man. Fuck that. You shot me, Jack. Get me the fuck out of here. That's what I would told. But he told him, gave him the whole little movie shit. No, man, it's okay. I thought you showed me it's my turn to die now. It'll be your turn next time. I'm like, what? Yeah, it made sense. But anyway, he died. So him and the kids get the hell out of the sewer. So now we still got Lily down there, right? We got Lily White down there, and as she turned around, she runs to another dead end. Somehow she go the wrong way from all other motherfucking friends. Go the wrong way and gets dead end, get stuck. As she turned around, here's Pennywise. Look at her dancing, talking shit, getting closer and closer and closer. Turns into her dad again. Squid, the pickle man. Pickle / squid man. Get close about to kill her. So, wait. Stop. Put a pin in it. So, go back a little bit. Right when the Air Force was going into the sewers, I didn't tell you, Tanya was with them, the nephew. He had basically, Dick Halloran went into his mind, and he told him that's where to go to find it. Well, to find the beacons. He said that the sewers will lead them to the beacons. All that shit was bullshit. That was just a setup. He was leading them down there to get killed. And so on top of that, his auntie, once his auntie found out that the Air Force had arrested him, she brought a piece of the shard that the Native Americans used to kill or to hurt Pennywise or to keep him, it's a beacon basically. That's what the shards are. The shards are. I mean, that's what the beacons are. Is the beacons are pieces of shards. The shards was a piece of a cage that, concealed and confined it in as he traveled through wherever he was at. They said he was caged and not just traveling. So something caged him in this stuff and sent him across the universe, and that's where he just crash landed Earth in Derry. So they used those pieces to make a cage basically to keep in there, and he don't like this shit. Obviously, it can hurt his ass. So if not kill him. So at the beginning, when they got in the sewers, Daniel decides he wants to break off and run away from their ass. He ends up from the Air Force. He drops the shard in the commotion and loses the shard. The shard gets brushed down through the water. So Tanya runs off, and everything else occurs I just told you about. Now it goes to Lily. Right before Pennywise is about to bite a motherfucking ass, he transforms into this big ass version. So of course, if you're gonna eat, tear her up, the whole goddamn top half of her finna be gone. Right before he finna bite her, he stops, looks down. It's something lighting up underwater. This is the scene here, a little bit of it. He looks down, and it's the shard. Shard has floated right in front of her, and it's stopping him from attacking her. He freaks out, transforms back to his regular self, does a little moonwalk, bucking backwards and shit. I got to see it. That's how I look. Went all the way back and, didn't attack her ass. So she was able to get, she picked up the shard and was able to get the fuck out. And that was basically the whole 29 Neighbor mission in a nutshell. Now, I said it was spoilers, but it won't get to some more spoilers. That was just this one spoiler, we back. So, but that one spoiler that mattered was motherfucking Pennywise. So it also, now the last scene they show, you see, find her name again. Make sure I want to tell y'all her right name. And so her name, Rooney. It's Kirsch. Mrs. Kirsch. So yeah, you have a scene with Mrs. Kirsch where she leaves her home. I told you Liddy came and spoke to her whenever her husband came out. So, spoiler alert, Mrs. Kirsch is the wife of Mr. B, Miss B, but Mr. Butcher, the butcher, who, is was basically, you could tell was something wrong with his motherfucker. And so she, on top of that, well, we're gonna stay with that for now. She is the wife of the butcher. She is also the white woman. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. She is also the white woman that Hank was with the night that they say he killed the kids. And that he, if he could only, he doesn't want to tell on her because, of course, he's gonna get fucked up, but also because her husband is a piece of shit, and that he is, will fuck her up because we know that he is probably it. But it gets a little deeper because if you remember from It 2, the movie, the actual movie, Mrs. Kirsch was the old lady that was staying in damn, I can't remember, but the blonde, the red haired young Beth, I think her name was Beth, Beth's dad's home. He went back there to get her, a little memory or whatever, which was the rose, what was it, February Amber's little postcard that Bill wrote her, not Bill, but other dude wrote her. So when she went back, she ended up transforming into a big scary lady. She was it basically, and the whole apartment had been shut down, had been abandoned, and it was just it fucking with them. So come to find out that she is actually going to be. This is a little reach because we ain't got there yet, but it's just taking in all the evidence. She is going to be. She's the daughter of it. You remember in the photo on the movie they showed it with a little girl next to it, and in her apartment she had it. She said, "Yeah, that was my dad." She is the father, not it, but she is the father of Pennywise, dancing clown, which is the guy that it basically took over. Possessed, or the moniker that he is always the clown. That guy, that's who he took over. So you're gonna see all that. They're gonna get to that of how exactly he killed her. I mean, killed him and took over his body and became the dancing clown. He does that so he can lure in kids, unsuspectingly, and hide from the adults. And no one expect a clown. I do. So that's what he used. So that was his real life daughter, the human part, for it took over. So it's just cool that they tying that back in. So I believe she gon' I don't know if she's possessed now, or if it is just took over her husband, he ain't killed her yet. But I don't know. I don't trust it later. So I think that she is already it. I think she's been it the whole time, or at least the money. See, that's her hair right there. This part here, I believe Lily is well, not here, but when we just seen in the beginning, I believe there's Lily in her attic. She's gonna see all of her old stuff and everything from her dad's house and all of that. It's gonna be Lily leaving her house crying, riding on the bike. Mom, my words, y'all. Mama words. And so it's just gonna come to find out that Miss Kirsch, has been it this whole time, been spinning all this shit and basically fueling Lily to do stupid shit. And so that was another spoiler. So also, on top of that, we go back to the sewers, right? We go back to the sewers with Dick Halloran, his vision. In his vision, his granddad opened up his box, his secret box. It had all his secrets with it. Not secrets, but the scary shit he tucked away. I believe that when because the very last scene after the one I just told you about with Mrs. Kirsch, well, before Mrs. Kirsch, they asked, did Dick Halloran ever get out the sewers after because once he fell in the water, they couldn't find him, and he started having a vision of his grandparents. He walks out of the sewers at the end, like dazed, and he looks over to the side and he sees the ghost of the guy that Will's father just killed. And so, they don't have anything to do with it. That's actually The Shining. So I believe once Pennywise opened that box up in Dick Halloran's mind, well, broke it open, I believe that it opened his mind all the way up to where his powers are now, he can't really control his powers now. Where he's going to see all type of dead people, he's going to see all type of horrible things because he don't have any ways to control it or not see that stuff. First, he was just using his powers whenever he needed to, just to go in people's head to do psychic stuff, basically. But the other side of it is that ghosts can communicate with him when he sees it. That was the part his grandmama told him how to cut off and where to hide it and put it away, which is that box. Now that it's open, he's gonna see everything now. I also think that's gonna actually tie into the Shining movie to where he is either gonna be feeling or seeing some ghosts or entities from that actual hotel, because we don't know, it could be up in the mountains of Derry. We don't know that hotel in this universe, or that could be what's going to spark him to go to the Outlook Hotel. Maybe at the end of the actual series, they'll show him saying, "Hey, I'm quitting the military. I'm finna go do this, be a chef over here." Not only to get away from it, but also maybe he's being called there to help the people at the hotel, or to help Danny as he does. If you ever seen Dr. No Sleep. So anyway, that's what I think happened. See, this is the scene I was talking about. See, she's looking up, she sees that's her with it's Pennywise before he became, it took over. And he's in her room. She's in Mrs. Kirsch's room upstairs, I believe. Now that hair is what it was. Remember, if you notice back on, I believe, episode 4, when they was showing back in the 20s at the circus, they was showing, you saw Pennywise's little thing in the back, the trailer, or carriage, and it was a little girl sitting out there. I believe then that's when Pennywise might have took over her dad, possessed him maybe that day, and she was waiting on him to come back, or she could have been already possessed then. You never know. So, like I said, it's another cool little TV. So those, let me see, make sure I didn't miss any other spoilers, because there's a lot in there, But yeah, man, y'all really need to get on the show, because it's only gonna get better and better, y'all. I'm telling you. Yeah, but I believe we covered all the spoilers, y'all. Clap it up, ooh, clap it up. So, man, once again, y'all, I really appreciate all the support y'all been showing your boy. Keep on hitting that like button, that follow button, that subscribe button. Leave some comments down there. I really hope y'all enjoying this. Give me some feedback so I know what's up, man. But y'all definitely go check out the show. It's worth all your time. I know they're an hour long, but they worth every second. You got to watch it. It's worth it. I'm telling you. And we gonna wait on episode 6 now, y'all. We only got 3 episodes left. I think it's only 8 episodes. That we're gonna be sick, sick as hell, y'all. Sick as hell. But yeah, man, I'm really enjoying the show. Hope y'all is too. But y'all take it easy. We're gonna be, back. I'll hit y'all another trailer. We're gonna be back with y'all on the next episode 6. Y'all go down and like all the other videos we gonna post. But yeah, man. Y'all be cool. Y'all be y'all. How y'all be y'all. We out. Peace.